you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show, your consumer advocate based right here in Tampa Bay in the Gulf Coast region of Florida, helping you win in any marketplace. That's what we always talk about, making you just a bit more street smart as a consumer. That is our goal, that by education, and we want you to engage with us. So one of the key things about our show is we want you reaching out and asking for help in different areas. So we've got a lot of expert contributors that come onto the show and talk about different areas from credit, finance, estate and tax planning, all types of home services, and we want to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you may need it, 813-750-0550.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
Give us a call on the text line. Call or text 813-750-0550. That's our consumer advocate hotline number. And we also want to help you win. So let's make our lineup here. We've got ladies first here. Diane Vance going to be on the show today. Fairway Independent Mortgage. Welcome.
Hey, good to be here, Brandon. I'm happy to return.
Absolutely, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Federal Reserve's new policy and some just different things happening in the mortgage market.
Yep, that's what we're going to discuss today.
Awesome, I like it. William Crowley, the credit magician. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Yeah, man, excellent. Rocking and rolling. The market's pretty busy. I'm sure. Are you guys seeing an uptick in credit apps?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty much remained the same. People got bad credit all over the place anyway. So I'm always here to help and try to enlighten people on the rules and the regulations that they should be aware of. So, I guess I have seen an uptick because a lot of people are out of work and a lot of stressful times right now. But nevertheless, this is a great time to take advantage of learning everything that's going on in the credit industry, especially with the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act.
Excellent. Good stuff. So we're going to get an update from the credit magician himself,
Yeah.
Crowley, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And also we've got Dan Minikheim, Pro Health Pest Control. Hey, Dan, how you doing, sir?
Great, doing great. Bugs are healthy and active, and so are the termites. Termites are still going well, and we're doing a lot of inspections and a lot of treatments.
Excellent, good stuff. So we're going to get an update from all of our expert contributors. Before we jump into that content, I want to plug one of our sponsors here, Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning, the official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out and support a local-owned business, a woman-owned business here in Tampa Bay, Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning. They're also certified for COVID-19. They have their certification for infection prevention and control. Follow them on Facebook as well, Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning. They're offering $15 off for any of our radio and TV show family. Just call or text the word cleaning, and we'll get you right in touch with her awesome team. And 1010 Bay Esplanade is a property that we just listed on Clearwater Beach. This is around an $800,000 purchase price on the best beach in the United States, in the world. That's Clearwater Beach. You're walking distance to the beaches with your beautiful new property at 1010 Bay Esplanade. You also have a third story, basically like an observatory. You're on the top floor looking out, overlooking the beautiful islands out there in the Gulf of Mexico and also the intercoastal waterways of Clearwater and Tampa Bay. Also, I've got a restaurant opportunity. Attention restaurants, coffee house owners, entrepreneurs, business owners, 8001 U.S. Highway 301 in Riverview. This is the Riverview Sandwich Shop is for sale. It's for sale, and it's on a corner lot, busy corner lot out in Riverview. 2 buildings for the price of one on the same parcel of land at $800,000. Great opportunities. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, so we got Dan Minikheim here, Pro Health Pest Control, coming up. Also, our feel-good story of the day, entire football team shows up to clean up a paralyzed man's yard damaged by a storm. This was out in Iowa. So let's jump into it, Dan. Pro Health Pest Control, you and your lovely wife, Melissa, own and operate a top pest control company here in Tampa Bay. What are you seeing out there, sir?
Well, we're seeing a lot of ant issues. We're getting a lot of new service calls for ants. What happens is you get the rainy season, the ants go absolutely nuts. They need water to expand and then some debris to eat. Once you get those two and the ground gets saturated, they're gonna climb to higher ground. It's gonna get into people's homes and they're gonna give us a call. So, that's typical. We kind of were drier in the earlier year, not really dry, but now that the rain's picked up, a lot of ant issues out there. So
yeah, it
that's
did seem dry.
definitely up.
It did seem dry a couple months ago,
Yeah,
unseasonably.
correct.
Yep. And then you also have, the termites. It's been said, there's different studies on these things, but, termites cause more damage than flood, fire, wind, hail. Every year they cost a lot of money for homeowners. What can our listeners do about it?
Yeah, I was at a house earlier today. I'll talk about two things real quick that I've seen actually today, right? Today, I'm out of the house and a guy's ripping a bathroom apart and the whole wall was just eaten through termites. You really couldn't tell prior to him ripping out the entire bathroom, which the bathroom was up against an exterior wall, which was framed. So now more than just it's sometimes a bathroom. You redo a bathroom and maybe it's $10,000. I'm not a bathroom guy, just throwing out a number.
Yep.
And then you'll have to. And then if you pull it out and some studs get wet or something, you're just redoing the studs. This case is a little bit different. You're actually talking about some structural members. The house is made out of wood. So what's needed? It's actually he actually took the whole outside of his walls missing. You walk around on the outside, you can see inside of his house because all the framing needs to be redone. He's a kind of a contractor. He wanted to know what needed to be done. And what he needed to do is we needed to do a soil treatment to kill all the termites. He was like, "Is that going to take care of it?" And yeah, it's going to take care of it. And then you come out and do inspections annually. And he was surprised that it was. I think I quoted him $1,072. He said, "Let's do it." So for $1,072, he's got a soil treatment around his whole property, and it'll kill some. He is like, "Oh, yeah, we got these warranties and all that stuff." And I look on the sticker, and the sticker, there's you by law you should put a treatment sticker. Not saying that everyone does, or it's that people don't peel them off or anything, but there was a treatment sticker, and it's for drywood termites, and it's a spot treatment. So after looking around, now this is another thing. This is a frame house. We're not trying to be scary, but what I recommend to that buyer was a crawl space treatment that would treat both for the subs and the drywood termites to protect her. There was no live there. This is an added protection. Homes are now for I think this it was a little under 1,000. It was kind of a 1,100 square foot crawl space frame house, so it was a little under 1,000 to do a treatment that we can come back and inspect it. It's not needed, not required, but I definitely recommend that for that type of home. Certainly termites can cause lots of damage that can go years and years and years without seeing, just like the first house I did this morning.
Yeah, and that's what you got to be careful of as a homeowner, especially once you're at a point where you say, "Hey, okay, now I'm going to sell it." It's to that point. I'm looking to downsize. Then you run into problems. Then you run into expensive repairs, and it's something that you could have treated years ago, and cost you a lot less money percentage wise. By the way, if you just joined us, we're talking with Dan Manikheim. He's the owner of Pro Health Pest Control, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show here. Coming up, we got Diane Vance Fairway, Independent Mortgage, William Crowley as well, our credit magician. Now, when you look at it, Dan, one of the things I talk about on the show is first of all, we're batting 1,000%. Everybody that's called in, texted in, I've heard nothing but good feedback, great feedback. Hey, they did a great job. I needed a water filtration system. Fred DeFelice did an awesome job. All the different folks that we work with. And personally, I can say a lot of the expert contributors that we have here on the show, I've worked with, and they've worked on our home, et cetera. The moving company, Brothers Easy Moving, et cetera. So Dan and his team has helped us as well on our home. And I know this is kind of the best way to do it, kind of set up for your VIP program where you just get like a quarterly bill or a monthly bill. And this is all kind of set it and forget it type of setup, right, Dan? Yeah,
we're an all inclusive when it comes to insects. that'd be the insect portion about it. Your home's newer, so it had a soil treatment done to it, and it's really well sealed. So for your personal home, what we do there is we do pest control, and it includes rodents and every type of bug you could think of. And yeah, we come out there and retreat. And what we do when we come out to your home is we try to limit the insect populations, like the ants and the roaches, in the flower beds and stuff like that. We use a bait which is only detectable by insects, meaning your dogs won't sniff out a food bait or something. There's not enough food in it that only the ants and the roaches detect it. They eat it, they swallow it, they can't digest anymore, and they die. And it doesn't affect vertebrates or birds or anything else. It's just there. And what we do is we're going to control the ant and roach population around your property so they don't get inside your home. And we're going to do it healthily. We're going to do it in a healthy manner where it has no effect on you or your pets, because I know you're a dog lover just like me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love that about you guys. It's definitely, it's the lowest amount of chemicals, the green type of treatments, and awesome stuff. Pro Health Pest Control. Check them out online. Give them a call, Dan Menikheim, and talk to him. Make sure you let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Well, Dan, thanks so much. We appreciate your advice and information.
Yep. Thank you. Have a great week. Keep it up.
All right, brother. You too. Okay. All right. Coming up, when we come back, we're going to talk with Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, and we bring her on with William Crowley because they work so synergistically together. Sometimes people get ready to purchase and they might not be as ready as they thought. Or identity theft is out there. Identity theft. We're going to talk about identity theft prevention and control, how to get pre-approved for a mortgage, and also the Federal Reserve's new policy. Interesting new change in the policy that they brought, and it's a kind of controversial a little bit too when you look at how inflation could affect things. But more from our expert contributors. Plus, coming up, we got our feel-good story of the day. To find out about this Iowa story out of Iowa, entire football team shows up to clean up paralyzed man's yard damaged by a storm. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to ConsumerQB.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
My name is James DeJerome, and I produce the Consumer Quarterback Show for Brandon Rhymes. The Consumer Quarterback Show is a team, a group of like-minded professionals who partner together to provide our audience sound advice, knowledge, and information to make them wiser consumers. We work with all types of business owners and aggressively promote our local economy. We're currently conducting interviews for our expert contributors. If you own a business or know someone who would benefit from the exposure our show provides, please contact us at 813-750-0550 or online at ConsumerQB.com.
My friends, when choosing a listing agent to sell your home, their track record is critically important. Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Real Estate. They're consistently rated by the MLS in the top 1% of all Tampa Bay realtors, and that's a big deal. Brandon and Lindsay are always among the top realtors in the state. Call them today at 813-750-0550.
Find them at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here for Golf Cart Depot. Thanks so much for supporting our show partners, Golf Cart Depot of Tampa Bay, a.k.a. Discovery Golf Carts. They've got the Easy Go, the Cushman, all types of great golf carts, either refurbished or used, pre-owned. A great opportunity, and they, right now, during the COVID-19 pandemic, a.k.a. the Chinese virus, they're doing it. It's pretty cool. They're going to bring the golf cart to you. So if you want to test drive it at your home, at your convenience, or your work, or say, hey, meet me at the park, there's a nice green pasture there, have them bring it to you so you can test drive the golf cart on your location, on your own terms. Golf Cart Depot of Tampa Bay. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on the special offers just by mentioning that you're a fan of the show. And we've got some hot properties here in Tampa Bay. 6128 Oak Ridge Avenue in Newport Richey. This is a gorgeous opportunity right on the river. You've got bay access if you're a boater. You have jet skis. You want to enjoy that Florida lifestyle. 6128 Oak Ridge Avenue in Newport Richey is a large home. This is over 4,000 square feet. Beautiful property, almost a full acre of land on the waterfront, on the river, private boat dock. Check out 6128 Oak Ridge Avenue in Newport Richey. Send it to your friends if they're looking. Let them know about it. We also have 520 George Street South in Tarpon Springs. 520 George Street South, Tarpon Springs. Now, this is another waterfront beauty on Lake Tarpon. The property is waterfront with wide open water views. You've got a private mother-in-law suite and also a private dock. Check out 520 George Street South and all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
All right, so we've got Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage coming up as well. William Crowley, the credit magician here. So, Diane, what are you seeing? It's interesting times. We had COVID-19. We've got, coming into the last quarter of the year. We got the political election.
Oh, yeah.
How does all that mix together, and what's the business environment that you're seeing?
Well, so everybody at Jackson Hole Symposium last week, Fed Chair Jerome Powell stated the Fed is willing to allow inflation to run hotter than normal to support the labor market and the economy. He explained the policy that averaging inflation targeting, which means that they're going to let it run higher than its normal 2%, or its goal is going to be 2%. Now, why does that matter to mortgages? Is because when in the past, when inflation erodes a bond's fixed rate of return, in other words, rising inflation can cause bonds to worsen, which makes interest rates go higher. So the Fed making this move is actually going to help. And if they were measuring it today for average inflation, they would have to let the inflation run to 2.7% to get an average of 2%. There was just a 1% inflation June to July year over year. So it's a different tune that they've ever done before. If you know that anytime there's any sort of inflation in the past, the Fed would start raising rates because they wanted to stop inflation. Because the economy, because of COVID, and because of everything that's going on, and it's a global market. It's not just the U.S. anymore. It's a global market. They're changing that, which is a good thing. So it's better for the mortgage bonds. It's better for the economy and the labor market. So he's trying. I mean, I think he's pretty bright, actually. So
let me add something there. I love that idea because when you boil that down, what it really equates to is cheap money means investment. So cheap money means, hey, that homeowner is going to go ahead and move up, move down, move closer to the beach. That business owner is going to invest in assets for his business, his equipment, or he might buy a new business or expand his business. That cheap money means they're going to invest in vehicles.
Yeah, that's exactly why they did it. That is the reason behind it, is because the old way of measuring the economy isn't the same as it used to be.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So we're talking with Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, a top 5 national lender, local company, local investor into the community here by supporting this show, the Consumer Quarterback Show. Get your pre-approvals in place. And Diane, the different loan types, I think people kind of know them. You've got all the different loan types. If we have somebody that has a specialty niche, commercial or vacant land, we've got opportunities where we refer those out. But do you want to talk about, a little bit about what you do offer?
Yeah, so what we do is we do all residential lending for with as little as 3% down. We do FHA, VA, conventional loans, jumbo loans. We do loans up to $3 million. And however, we don't have those very often, but we do those. And we have anything for a residential loan that where you're actually moving into a home. We do investment properties for up to 4 units. Anything above that, like for an apartment complex or something like that, would go to a commercial lender. But we do all the residentials up to the 4 units. per actual, like a fourplex. So we can do those.
Yeah. So you've got different opportunities out there right now. Like, for example, we were just talking a little bit before the show is, Tampa Bay, we know that it's a strong seller's market right now. There's a low supply of inventory, not much inventory in the market. But, for example, go over to the East Coast, go down to Miami. You've got a buyer's market down there with condos, especially the higher priced above $500,000. So it's interesting to see how the different markets play out, Diane.
Yeah, and I think that is because of, I think part of it is because of COVID, because Miami was hit harder than, we actually are pretty low in Pinellas County. It's actually not, we're pretty low for the state. I think that, they have a lot of condos. They have a ton of condos, and not sure why it would, and they may have more service, more people may be out of work. There's a lot of factors that each market actually is different, and that's part of it. It's a big tourist area, so that also affects a lot of things. So I think I think the Tampa Bay area is actually a very strong market, and you're right. It is a seller's market still here. There are not a lot of homes. There's not enough inventory. We continue to say that every week, and it's true. So, and interest rates are so low, everybody's wanting to buy, and they are grabbing those homes as fast as they can.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great time to do that. Investing in real estate, I think more and more people are seeing also is that, the investment in the real estate is an insurable asset. It's something where you don't have to worry about fraud as much. There is, some fraud that happens in real estate, but if you look at the stock market comparable, for example, if you listen to Phil's show, Phil Grande, he's right before us. He talks a lot about how the manipulation with price stocks and a lot of the stock buybacks to make the valuations of these companies look bigger than they are, stronger than they are. And, of course, you hear about the Enrons, those types of things. So people are looking for a safe investment. And in my opinion, it doesn't get much safer than investing in a duplex, triplex, or a quad, for example. And let's say it's your first home. You want to live in one side. You rent those other units out. Now you got passive income coming in.
Oh, yeah, plus the appreciation. The appreciation is huge. And, pending home sales were up 5.9% from June to July, and they were 15.5% higher than July of last year for the national, the NAR. So it's definitely, there's no reason not to buy. There really is not.
Yeah, thanks to the crazy political year and the stuff happening.
Oh, this has just been a crazy year all the way. We're just all going to remember this year forever.
Oh, yeah. You see the different memes floating around on Instagram or Facebook. And yeah, 2020 has been an interesting year and just a very challenging year. Unfortunately, a lot of deaths, a lot of property destruction. I feel for the business owners. And unfortunately, it's a lot of the Democratic-led states with the mayors not stepping up, the governors not stepping up, letting people riot and just tear and burn. And so it's crazy. So people are moving from those areas to places like Florida, Texas, Arizona, Nevada. So, hey, more from Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, coming up. We also are going to talk with William Crowley. William's going to talk about credit improvement, but also identity theft prevention, which is such a big key in this modern world that we live in. Also, our feel-good story of the day, entire football team shows up to clean up paralyzed man's yard damaged by storm. Stay with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We would love to connect and follow you back at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook, and the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Okay, everyone, we are clear.
Cool. All right, we're clear, but we're going to go right back into it. We're going to take just a quick turn around here and get going. Second side of the show here. William, are you ready over there?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, buddy. So Yeah, talk about some of the different identity theft that we've seen over the last few years, several years. I feel like that's a good point to bring up because people sometimes they get lackadaisical just because it doesn't happen to them.
But go ahead, that's fine.
Let them know. Okay, Jose.
All right, everyone, please stand by.
Here we go, guys.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here for the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, the Bilmar Beach Resort on Treasure Island. And I have personally stayed there. I enjoy it thoroughly every time. There's 2 pools on site, Sloppy Joe's Beach Bar and Restaurant. You've got fire pits, just 2 bars on property, huge beach. Great opportunity to get out and hang out and enjoy the beaches right here in Tampa Bay. A lot of people vacation here. We live here. And so local staycation, or if you're listening to, maybe you're streaming this out of state, out of the country, we would love to have you check out our official hotel partner, Bilmar Beach Resort, Treasure Island, Florida. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you so you can take them up on those special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we got a couple of hot property listings. As you know, I'm the owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife Lindsay and I own and operate. We're top 1% ranked in the Tampa Bay area. So we're ranked in the top 1% of 30,000 plus agents. We just got word we're in the top 100 of the 7,000 agents that are in the Keller Williams South region of Florida as well. So it's all about our listeners out there, our listeners, our followers, everybody supporting the show. So we greatly appreciate it. And we want to help you. We want to make sure we're giving you the best advice, helping you through your transactions. And we've got a couple of hot listings. So for our sellers, we feature our real estate listings live on air on our syndicated show that airs in 85 different outlets, including Apple, Amazon, Roku, Sony, 1025 The Bone on Sundays. But we've got 1314 Alt 19, which is a daycare right here in Tampa Bay, 1314 Alternate 19. And it's either the building, or if you want to buy the business, they'll talk about the business, but it's a huge commercial asset. So it can be, pretty much whatever you want to make this business within reason with the zoning. Large lot, it's a double lot, 1314 Alt 19 in Holiday. It's a great opportunity right here in southern Pasco County. Also, 5510 South Elkins Road. This is a South Tampa lot that's perfect opportunity for you to build your dream home right here in Tampa Bay and Ballast Point. And we've got some beautiful photography set up. We've got videos online for a lot of our listings. Check them all out at platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And we got open phone lines right now, 813-750-0550. Call or text the show, 813-750-0550. Call or text that line, and we'll get right back to you before our head hits the pillow. All right, Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage on the show. More from Diane coming up here very soon. But we've got William Crowley. Now, he's a wealth of information around identity theft prevention, credit improvement, and credit restoration. William Crowley back on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Now, William, what I wanted to talk about a little bit was some of the fraud that you see out there, some of the identity theft, some of the different ways that people are slipping into this, or maybe being a little bit lackadaisical, and then you have your credit stolen, and then it causes a lot of problems.
Yeah, and that's why, since I've been on this show, I kind of preach every time I come on about preventative measures and being familiar with the Fair Credit Reporting and Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. It can heavily prevent a lot of this information. Now, I always say, and it's kind of sarcastic, but I always say the biggest perpetrator of identity theft is the credit reporting agencies themselves, because they just release your information without any discretion. So the people out there that's perpetrating these procedures of identity theft, can easily get the information right from the credit agency. There's no, scrutinizing or anything like that. So I tell the consumer, listen, you have to be proactive. And being familiar with your consumer rights and understanding the importance of a promotional block. Now, that's downplayed by the credit reporting agencies because they make their money off of having exposure to your information and just arbitrarily selling it at any juncture for a great price, by the way. As well, you're not getting a kickback, so you may as well not give that information to them. Now, that exposure, a lot of times people think, well, if I put a promotional block on my credit report, then I don't have the exposure. But you can go out and apply for your own credit instead of being solicited. The credit reporting agency is selling you information so that other people can solicit you to tell you what offers they have. But if your credit's good enough, then you can go out and do that yourself through all the venues out there. I mean, you can, there's unlimited advantages you have when your credit is good. Now, when you are a victim of identity theft, the primary thing that's going to happen is your credit's going to be ruined. So those free sites out there is another advantage that people have, like Diane with Fairway Mortgage and other mortgage companies out there. They have a certain amount of information they can release to you. But the free credit reports that are online, even though the score is not accurate, the content usually is. And you can be proactive and in checking your credit on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, on a minute-by-minute basis, because these sites are updated with your information on every time there's some change. And the free sites, and I can name a few if I'm allowed to online. There's Credit Karma, there's Credit Sesame, there's freecreditreport.com, there's Annual Credit Report. Any of them will suffice, okay? The point is that people should take advantage of these free sites instead of paying. A lot of times people pay for identity theft protection when in reality, those sites you're paying for, it happens after the fact. You have to be a victim of identity theft in order for it to be effectively used. I'm trying to tell you, don't get yourself in that rut in the first place, pretty much at a low cost or free at the most. The free sites are there for you to look at your credit report and view it. And if you see any type of suspicious activity, you can cut it and nip it right in the bud right there. And then you can also dispute information on the free credit report. But wait a minute, let me go back. If you are a victim of identity theft, then you can file a police report. But if the information does in fact belong to you, then that's another story. That there's advantages that you have that way as well, because you can use the Fair Credit Reporting Act to go after this information. This information on your credit report, I'm not trying to encourage people to be what I call deadbeats and trying to take advantage of the system, but stuff happens. Like, for instance, this coronavirus. I almost choked, okay. But the coronavirus that has, Diane was just saying earlier, 28 million people out of work. I mean, people's credit is being affected, and the gougers out there, the people that participate in identity theft, they're probably running amok. I mean, they're probably making millions and billions of dollars off of people's negligence on their credit reports. So let's be proactive. Let's get access to these free sites, the ones I mentioned. Also put a promotional block on your credit report. That'll be part of the package that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But the promotional block can prevent the credit reporting agency from giving any type of exposure to you. They cannot market your information if you have a promotional block. It's a simple, free procedure, and it will put a promotional block on all three credit reports. And that's all it does. It doesn't doesn't put a freeze on your credit report or anything like that. It just stops the credit reporting agency from marketing your information. Once you do that, then you can go and apply for your own credit if your credit's up to par. Now, if your credit is not up to par, then you can take advantage of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, which is perfect in times like this where people have trouble keeping up, or they've lost their job and their bills are falling behind, their credit's being affected. So you can use these laws of the Fair Credit Reporting Act to go ahead and start to legally challenge the information on your credit report. Now we know it belongs to you. Okay, the information does in fact belong to you. But the Fair Credit Reporting Act says, listen, you have to pay the price as a consumer to make sure that this stuff is accurate. Also, the people that are putting this information on your credit report being the credit reporting agencies, they have steps that they have to follow as well. They're not following those steps, so we can legally get you back on track to take advantage of some of these low rates and things of that nature that Diane and even Brandon was talking about earlier. A lot of times people can't take advantage of these rates, these low rates, because their credit has prevented them from doing so.
Right.
But you can legally restore your credit and stop renting and start buying. Most people are paying more in rent than they are buying because they think that, well, my credit's bad, so I have to rent, when in reality, you can change your credit situation literally within 30 days by legally challenging the information on your credit report. You're not lying. You're using the Fair Credit Reporting Act to say, Mr. Credit Reporting Agency, the steps you have to follow too. And since these are hard times, I need to get out of this renting anyway and save me some money. I don't have the money to pay out for rent. I do have the money to pay on a lower price mortgage. So
good point.
There's a huge advantages to making sure that your credit is up to par, and 90% of that can be done by the consumer themselves, being proactive.
So, William, that can happen relatively quickly, because I think some people have that mindset of, man, this is, it's going to take me several months to do this. But you're saying it can happen a little bit faster than people think.
It definitely can, faster and legally. And that's what we give. We tell people to go to the FTC.gov. That's the Federal Trade Commission website. Review the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. The credit reporting agencies have to respond within 30 business days of receiving your disputes. But most people think that since the information does in fact belong to them, there's no need in challenging it. We're not challenging the situation. We're challenging the procedure in which the credit reporting agencies are putting this information on your credit report. We're not challenging whether it belongs to you or not. More than likely it does belong to you. And that goes in the form of bankruptcy, tax liens, judgments, collections, repossessions, collection accounts, late payments, etc. So challenge this information using the Fair Credit Reporting Act. There are certain legal issues that will benefit us as consumers and protect us from the abuses of the credit reporting agency. Just putting information on there that they haven't properly verified. Okay, this stuff is not verified. Yes, it does belong to you, but it's not verified. So the credit reporting agency will have to remove it from their files. Now, the lender can keep it on their files because we know that it's true with them, but the credit reporting agency can't.
Right.
And, so people just need to really familiarize themselves with these laws. And in my package, I can explain all that. And the promotional block, can I go ahead and give the promotional block number out?
Yeah, let's do it. And let's offer your credit package as well.
Okay, all right. And it'll be in the package as well, but 888-567-8688. 888-567-8688. And for the millennials, it's I like to be humorous when I say that, but it's www.optoutprescreen.com. www.optoutprescreen.com. Just go in there, and you can do it right online as well, and that'll take you off of all three major credit bureaus, their marketing list, and say that they have to overlook you when they're sending out information to the credit scammers.
All right, good stuff. Yeah, exactly. And then text the word credit also if you want to get the credit package. Just text the word credit to our hotline, and we'll hook you up with that. 813-750-0550. That's our consumer advocate hotline, 813-750-0550. We'll put you in touch with William Crowley, the credit magician, and we'll help you understand more about your buying decisions, your credit improvement. Coming up, more from Diane Vance and William in our lightning round, our feel-good story of the day as well. Entire football team shows up to clean up a paralyzed man's yard damaged by storm. A great story out of Iowa here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is Diane Vance with Fairway Independent Mortgage, a member of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please give me a call for any of your mortgage needs. We do all sorts of loans. If you would like information on a mortgage, you can text me or call me at 727-647-8199. I will take care of all your mortgage needs. Go to my website at DianeVance.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. We are in a low inventory market, so any of our listeners are homeowners and would like a free comparable market analysis or a 2.5% listing, we will honor this for the first 3 listeners who call or text in 813-773-1253. Free CMA and a 2.5% real estate listing at 813-773-1253.
Check out consumerqb.com. Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. Of course, we would love to talk to you. We've got over 50 show partners as well with the Consumer Quarterback Show. Now, we've established this over the last 7 years on air, over 7 years now, and we've got the best in all different areas of business and finance and credit, estate planning, tax planning, attorneys, CPAs, home services, all types of companies that we can refer you out to, and it's basically just going to help you save a lot of time and money. It's going to make you understand that they're vetted. These are great companies that we work with, and help you save time and money, make you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, serving as your consumer advocate. One of the things we do is we tell you a feel-good story every day, and we also want to thank our sponsor, Brothers Easy Moving, for this segment. Brothers Easy Moving, local moves, interstate moves, long-distance moves, packing, junk hauling, and office moves. Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to them. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, 422 Wildwood Way. We've got a great property here in Tampa Bay, 2-story property right here in Pinellas County, 2-story home with a gorgeous backyard. You've got close to the beaches, close to golf. Great opportunity at 422 Wildwood Way right here in Tampa Bay. Also, 3405 Gray Whetstone. This is a property out in East Hillsborough County, and it's a great opportunity for a rental. It's their average entry-level home, 3405 Gray Whetstone. Beautiful property in Tampa Bay, just listed, and it's a great opportunity. Beautiful pictures from Brave Frameworks, the official real estate photographer of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right, so a paralyzed man whose home was damaged by the recent derecho, the storm in derecho, is feeling blessed after an entire football team came to remove the fallen trees in his yard. Ray Drake has been paralyzed since 1989 and is cared for by his 2 sisters. When the storm wreaked havoc on his Des Moines, Iowa home, he knew he was going to need help. His sisters reached out to one of his high school friends for a chainsaw, and he showed up with an entire football team. So, quote, I saw some pictures, and I thought you need more than just one chainsaw, Janice said of Ray's friend, Doug Applegate. In just 2 hours, 30 members of Roosevelt Rough Riders cut and moved down the trees away from Ray's home. Tears flowed from Ray and his sisters. Thanked the team. He said, I'm blessed, quote, I'm blessed, says Ray. So there's our feel-good story of the day out of Iowa, and communities banding together, coming together, and we love our feel-good story of the day, telling you something positive, kind of going against the nonsense out there in the mainstream media. It was interesting. I was watching a podcast this morning from Patrick Bet David. He was talking about it was a poll about 20 or 30 years ago. 80% of Americans said they trusted the mainstream media back then. And now the poll is completely flip-flop. It's 20% of Americans trust the media, the mainstream media. And you know who I'm talking about, the CNNs and those guys. Unbelievable. So we're bringing a positive spin to things, telling you something positive, and also serving as a consumer advocate So we're different from those guys, and we prove it here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. William Crowley on the show, Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage. I want to go back to Diane and dispel some myths here. Diane, a lot of people think that they need a large down payment, but that's simply not the truth now.
That is not the truth. Matter of fact, I had somebody that went to a bank, and they told him the minimum down payment was 20%. He had great credit. He can put 3% down. He has, anytime you're putting less than 20% down, you have mortgage insurance for him because his credit was so good. Another reason to contact William. And his premium was very low for the mortgage insurance. So instead of waiting to pay, save more money, he was able to go ahead and matter of fact, is making an offer on a home today.
Beautiful. I love it. So that's the story, because that's the challenge. People walk into the bank, they think, oh, well, I'm just going to go to where my deposits are, my savings, or maybe I got my auto loan. But that's not the best scenario. They're not an expert in that specific strategy of that mortgage side.
That's true. We are all licensed. I used to work for a big bank, as you know, for many, many years, and I've worked in the mortgage side on the other side for over 10 or 11 years, and I absolutely love it. So there is no overlays that they call. In other words, you don't have additional guidelines such as you have to put 20% down to get a conventional loan. That is not the case. You can put as little as 3%. Most people have put 5% down. So you can get those from gift funds, 401k, IRAs, all sorts of places.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good stuff. All right, so let's jump into our lightning round here. We're going to come at you with some top tips, nuggets of advice, and parting words of wisdom.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, here we go. Ladies first, Diane Vance, top tips.
I'm going to bounce off of what William said. Make sure you know what's in your credit and don't put your head in the sand. Make sure that you, literally in Florida, right? But make sure you are actually taking a look at it and doing something about it.
Yep, absolutely. Be proactive. Take that action item. That's one of Stephen Covey's habits, 7 habits of highly effective people. Number one is be proactive. Being proactive means taking responsibility for your attitudes and actions, as well as taking the initiative to make things happen. I love that one. William Crowley, top tips.
Yeah, and when you're being proactive and looking at your credit report on those free sites, when you start to discover these negative items on there, address them, especially the form of collections. I tell people never, ever pay a collector, never, ever ignore them. You don't owe the money, but don't ignore them. Issue a validation of debt to those collectors. When you look at that credit report, that free credit report, get on there and then start to be proactive. Start doing things about it.
Yep, absolutely. And it comes down to the Pareto principle. A lot of times, a lot of people, this is a story I love. One of my favorite stories to talk about when I do public speaking. I actually taught a class yesterday for Keller Williams organization via Zoom, and it was winning with sellers, how to win with sellers. And there were some great, models in there. It all comes down to models when you look at a business, a successful business, the 7-step seller cycle, from leads to listings to appointments to follow-ups, etc. But 80-20 principle was interesting because it was developed by a man named Wilfredo Pareto back in 1895. So back then, he was an economist. He was an Italian economist, and he realized and he noted that he saw a division in the wealth in his country, in Italy at the time, and he noticed that 20% of the owners owned 80% of the wealth in the land back in 1895, Italy. And he developed what he called the Pareto principle, or what was later coined as the Pareto principle, and you also heard it known as Duran's rule. But it's those 20% of key tasks. So what do you do on a daily basis that is going to be contributing to 80% of your success? So sometimes we get bogged down with things that don't really affect us or don't help us grow. And if we can really focus, use the power of focus, and where your energy goes, your energy flows, right? So your focus goes, your energy flows, rather. You want to look at those 20% of key tasks and focus on those things, and that's going to help you understand and grow faster than the other side of getting run down with the minutia and the data that you don't want to deal with, or things that you're not good at. So focus on your strengths, get better at your strengths, focus on your 20% of key tasks, and get better at those things. So that's the key, 80-20 rule, Pareto principle. So Diane, William, thanks so much. We appreciate you guys. Great show today. Good knowledge for our listeners out there.
Excellent.
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate you. All right, check them out online. Fairway Independent Mortgage, William Crowley Credit Restoration Expert, and all of our experts can be found at consumerqb.com. Consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors. And as we always say, we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another and be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Make sure you check out consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.